somewhere in your pocket right now is a piece of glass that can outcalculate every human who has ever lived, combined, doing math by hand for their entire lives. Today, we're building one of those. From actual zero. Not no electricity zero, not no factories zero. I mean, there is no math yet. Nobody has invented numbers properly. Nobody knows what physics is. Counting past 10 is considered advanced technology. By the end of this video, every single piece of human knowledge required to build a computer will exist because we built it one ridiculous step at a time, and so will the computer. Let's start from nothing. Step 1. Right now, you don't have numbers. You have 1, 2, and many. That's it. That's the whole system. You cannot build anything with many. So first, invent counting. Actual fixed numbers, in order, that always mean the same thing. Congratulations. You just became every ancient civilization's first mathematician, simultaneously. You built counting. You don't have logic yet. So now you need to become a Greek philosopher. Counting tells you how many. It doesn't tell you true or false. You need that too, because eventually your computer is going to need to make decisions. Step 2. Right now, the entire concept of a decision being mathematically provable doesn't exist, so invent logic. Yes, no, and, or, not, and the rules for combining them. Define what makes an argument valid. Congratulations. You just became Aristotle, by accident, while trying to build a calculator. You built logic. Now you need to write any of this down, so become a scribe. You have counting and logic floating around in people's heads, which is useless, because everyone forgets everything, and nobody can check anyone else's work. Step 3. You need symbols, so invent written numerals. And while you're at it, invent the concept of zero as an actual number, not just an absence. That one single symbol will eventually break the entire world's brain for a few centuries. You built written math. Now your numbers need rules for how they behave, so become an Arab mathematician with a very good textbook. Numbers by themselves can only describe things you already know. You need a way to describe things you don't know yet. Step 4. Otherwise, your future computer can only ever repeat facts back to you, never actually work anything out. So invent algebra. Unknowns, variables, equations that balance on both sides. You've just invented the entire mental toolkit every engineer on this list is about to lean on for the rest of the video. You built algebra. Now you need to describe shapes in space, lay out angles, and measure distance precisely. So become a Greek with a stick and a very flat patch of sand. Step 5. Eventually, you're going to need circuits laid out on a board, gears meshing at precise angles, and a screen made of a grid of points. None of that works without a formal way to describe space, angles, and distance. So invent geometry. Points, lines, angles, proofs. Congratulations, you just became Euclid, and also accidentally invented the reason graph paper exists. You built geometry. Now you need a way to handle things that constantly change. So become a feuding genius in 2 different countries at the same time. Step 6. Electricity flows, heat builds up, signals rise and fall over time. You need math that can handle constant change, not just fixed, frozen numbers sitting still on a page. So invent calculus, the mathematics of rates of change, independently, in a petty rivalry that will outlive both of you by centuries. You won't need this one directly very often, but every engineer down the line secretly will. You built calculus. Now you need to write any of this down faster than longhand. So become a scribe again, but angrier. Step 7. Mental math is slow and you're gonna need to do a lot of it. You need a physical tool that does arithmetic for you using your hands instead of your head. So invent the abacus. Beads on rods sliding back and forth, turning physical motion into calculation. This is the first time in this entire video that a machine, not a brain, is doing the math. You built the calculating tool. Now you need it to run itself, so become a Greek engineer on a boat that's about to sink. Step 8. Pushing beads by hand is still you doing the work. You need something that calculates automatically, where turning one input forces the correct answer out the other end, with zero human math in between. So invent the gear. Then invent dozens of them, interlocking in precise ratios inside a bronze box that can predict eclipses. You've essentially built the Antikythera mechanism, history's first analog computer, 2,000 years before anyone had a word for computer. You built automation. Now you need to understand the invisible force that's about to power everything else on this list. So become a guy rubbing amber with a cloth for no reason anyone respects yet. Step 9. You don't even know electricity exists yet, you just know that occasionally certain materials get rubbed together and start doing strange, sparky, hair-raising things, and nobody has the faintest idea why. So discover static electricity, then current, then the basic fact that this invisible force can move through certain materials and not others. Congratulations, you just stumbled onto the single most important physical phenomenon your computer will ever depend on, and you still don't fully understand it. You discovered electricity. Now you need to control where it goes. So become an Italian arguing with another Italian about frog legs. Step 10. Electricity that moves randomly is just a hazard. You need it to move along a controlled, predictable path from one point to another on command every single time. So invent the electrical circuit, complete with the rule that current needs a closed loop to actually flow. You've just invented the basic skeleton every single electronic device after this point in the video will secretly still be using. You built the circuit. Now you need a rulebook for how machines should think with all of this. So become a slightly obsessive Victorian mathematician. Step 11. Gears and circuits can move and flow, but they don't know what true and false actually mean in a way you can calculate with, like numbers. You need to translate Aristotle's logic from step 2 into pure math. So invent Boolean logic. True and false become 1 and 0. Logic becomes arithmetic. Every decision your future computer will ever make is now, technically, just math. Congratulations, you just wrote the grammar your computer will think in, a century before it exists. You built machine logic. Now you need to understand magnetism. So become a guy who notices a rock is being weirdly rude to his compass. Step 12. A computer that can only calculate but never remember anything is just a very expensive abacus. You need a way to store information and have it stay put until you need it again. So discover magnetism, and the fact that certain materials can be magnetized in one of two stable directions and just stay that way indefinitely until you deliberately flip them. Congratulations, you've just stumbled onto the basic physical principle behind data storage, several centuries before anyone calls it that. You discovered magnetism. Now you need something that can physically switch on and off by itself electrically. So become an American physicist in a lab that smells like solder. Step 13. Gears are too slow and too big. You need something tiny that can flip between on and off millions of times per second using nothing but electricity from step 9. So invent the transistor, a solid little switch, no moving parts, no vacuum tube, that can be ones and zeros at a speed no gear could ever survive. This single object is arguably the most important invention of the last century, and you just made it while trying to finish a much weirder to-do list. You built the switch. Now you need a material that can actually do this on a massive scale, so become a chemist staring at a pile of beach sand. Step 14. A handful of transistors is cute. You need millions of them, and they can't all be the size of a brick, or your computer becomes a building. So refine ordinary sand into pure silicon, a material that can be precisely controlled to let electricity through or block it exactly on command. You've just invented the substance an entire valley in California will eventually name itself after. You built the material. Now you need to pack a ridiculous number of switches into one tiny space. So become an engineer at a lab in 1958 with a soldering iron and way too much patience. Step 15. Wiring millions of individual silicon switches together by hand, one at a time, would take several lifetimes and several thousand cups of coffee. You need a shortcut. So invent the integrated circuit. Fabricate dozens, then thousands, then billions of transistors directly onto one tiny piece of silicon, wired together in the manufacturing process itself. This is the exact moment a pile of parts becomes a chip. You built the chip. Now you need a language to actually tell it what to do. So become a mathematician writing instructions for a machine that doesn't exist yet. Step 16. A chip full of switches with no instructions is just an expensive paperweight that occasionally gets warm. You need a formal way to tell it, step by step, exactly what sequence of ones and zeros to become. So invent the algorithm, a precise, ordered list of steps that always produces the same result. Then invent a way to encode those steps as patterns of switches. You've just invented software, conceptually, before you even have a machine to run it on. You built programming. Last piece left. You need power, copper, and something to hold it all together. So become an electrician. Step 17. Last piece, and it's the least glamorous. You need copper wiring to move electricity where you want it. You need a power source to give your switches something to switch. And you need a board to physically hold the whole arrangement together so it doesn't collapse into an expensive pile of sand and metal. None of this is glamorous. There's no genius light bulb moment here. It's basic electrical engineering, the same principles you stumbled onto back in steps 9 and 10, just scaled up and aimed at a much smarter target. You've built every single piece. Time to put it together. So look at what you actually just did. You invented counting, then logic, then a way to write both down, including zero. You invented algebra to solve for unknowns, geometry to describe space, and calculus to handle constant change. You invented a calculating tool, then a machine that calculated automatically. You discovered electricity, tamed it into a circuit, then translated logic into pure math. You discovered magnetism and figured out how to make something remember. You built a physical switch to run all of this at inhuman speed, found a material that could hold millions of those switches. Then you packed them onto a single chip and invented a formal language to tell the whole thing what to do. Then you wired it together with copper, gave it power, and bolted it to a board so it would stop falling apart. None of these people met each other. A Mesopotamian merchant never met Aristotle. Aristotle never met the people who built gears into a Greek shipwreck artifact. Two feuding mathematicians inventing calculus never met the guy annoying his compass with a magnetic rock. None of them ever heard of silicon, or electricity as we understand it, or Texas Instruments. Every single one of them solved one weird specific problem with zero idea what it would eventually plug into. And yet, stack all 17 of those solutions on top of each other in exactly this order, and what falls out the other end is a machine that counts, decides, remembers, and calculates automatically at a speed that would have looked like actual sorcery to literally everyone on this list. You didn't build a computer using ancient technology. You built one using every original idea humans ever had, going all the way back to before numbers were a real thing. Turns out that was the only way it was ever going to work. This channel just started. So if you want more of this, hit subscribe and tell me in the comments what video you want to see next.